After the fun and games at Daytona yesterday, we make it to the Midwest, and we're here at Kansas Speedway for the Indycar Speedway League, sponsored by Robert Tech's Job. And yeah, we're here for round 2 in the IR05. Sam Cooper Bennett in the booth with you, joined with me as always by my broadcast partner, Mr. Tony Chipasso. Tony, after Bouchard's win last week, can he do it again this week?
You mean Sunday in the IR18s? Yeah,
he won last week in the IR05s as well.
Oh shoot, yeah. Can he sweep the week here at the D-shaped demon of the Midwest? I completely forgot about that little tidbit of information. So yeah, this is going to be very interesting to see. Relatively short field tonight, though, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, we have had that the last couple of weeks. I mean, league management are doing everything they can to get the numbers up, but in the meantime, we do have enough cars out there to make it a race tonight. 16 cars set to take the green here tonight at Kansas. Just under 3.5 minutes left in hot laps. Just going to go through a few sponsors here tonight. Firstly, we're going to go to roberttechjobs.com. Tony has the readout. Go.
roberttechjobs.com, your Midwest leader in temp to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest, or if you're looking to relocate, go to roberttechjobs.com and be sure to let Bill know that the ISL sent you.
Also, we are being brought to you by the Thor's Kin podcast. If you like to hear two people talk about superheroes, those will be Alex Whiteley and Jimmy Rose. Those will be the guys to look for. That's the Thor's Kin podcast. They are on all good streaming services. Also want to give a shout out to Prestige Vapory. They are the sponsors of Strange Nuts Motorsports, and they are always watching us. If you want to get a good deal on a decent vape, and if you want to show your support, then go to Prestige Vapory.
San Antonio, Texas's finest.
Absolutely. We're going to go to PZ Overlays. If you want a decent overlay for your broadcast, like the one you see here tonight, then do not hesitate to go to Paul Zota on Facebook. That is PZ Overlays. Also, I would be remiss if I did not mention pH Aware, one of the most highly misdiagnosed diseases in the world, pulmonary hypertension. If you want more information on the disease and how you can raise awareness or even throw in a donation, then please go to phaware.global or phaware.org. Right, Tony, just under 2 minutes left in hot laps. What are your expectations for tonight?
I'm expecting some tough, hard-nosed competition from start to finish. As you know, I'm taking a look at the times from just the hot lap session. Everybody that took time, the top 11 are separated by less than 0.2 of a second. The top 5 are less than 50 thousandths.
Absolutely.
That's, I mean, you can't script this stuff.
Absolutely. As former champion Cody Eldred currently sitting at the top of the standings, as you mentioned, 0.003 of a second from KP. Kevin Paskowicz in that number 7 pH Aware machine. Tyler Vickery sits 3rd in the red pH machine. Last week's race winner and race winner from Sunday, Chris Bouchard, sitting in 4th, and Quentin Young, another phenomenal Evolution driver. He is in the top 5 in 5th place. Want to give a shout out to one driver that's actually returning for this series, and that is Ray Zerkett. Missed a few races last season. Good to see him back out there tonight.
Absolutely. It's always good to have Ray out on the track because he's a tough competitor, but a cleaner racer you will never find.
Absolutely. As we are 25 seconds before qualifying. Just got to get qualified out of the way first, and then before that we will go to our national anthem and then get this race underway. Before we do that, let's go to our live feed, as we're going to give you the results from the hot lap session. So as I mentioned before, Cody Eldred sitting at the top of the standings, 0.003 of a second ahead of Kevin Paskowicz, who is 2nd, Tyler Vickery 3rd, 4th is Christopher Bouchard, 5th is what?
Sam, hold on real sec. You take a look at the splits.
Yeah.
From 1st to 3rd is 10/1000ths of a second. From 1st to 5th is 47 thousandths of a second. Now, for those of you who don't understand how long a thousandth of a second is, you blink your eyes in 17 thousandths of a second.
Absolutely, and
let that sink in for a moment, folks. 17 thousandths of a second is how long it takes you to blink your eye, and we have the first 3 separated by less than that amount.
Yes, qualifying is now underway. Definitely hard to sink in when it comes to things like that. Just going to go to our qualifying. We're seeing Cody Eldred sitting on pit road burning a bit of fuel off there. Let's go to Tyler Vickery. Definitely putting the times in and really want to shake that bad luck off he's had the last few weeks, Tony. Do you reckon tonight will be the night to do it?
Provided he can stay out of the dumpster fire, he's got a decent shot at it. You know, Tyler's usually a pretty decent runner. It's just, you know, the bad luck kind of just kicks him right in the mommy-daddy button.
Absolutely, as he is there out on track. Let's put the qualifying times up right now. He is just put a time in. He's the first person to put a time down, and it's fastest by 0.4 of a second over Chris Bouchard. Terry Adams throwing one down now with a 26.243, Tony.
82 thousandths of a second to the good. You know, Terry's another one of the hard luck kids in the league, and I say kid jokingly because Terry's probably one of the more senior members of the league, shall we say.
Yeah, and he's the setup guru for the league, as well as one of the biggest providers of the music for both for broadcasting. So thanks go out to him and TDA Motorsports showing their support for.
Bob Lacavara laying one down.
Yeah, and then also almost immediately Stuart Lumpkin throwing in a time as well, 25.872 for that 199 driver. Tyler Vickery going to the top of the standings now, 25.823, 49 thousandths of a second faster. Actually make that 22 thousandths of a second faster, 21 thousandths of a second faster than Bob Lacavara. The times are coming in thick and fast now, Tony.
They are, because these guys know that track position is going to be key here, and you know you've got to start towards the front because passing is going to be at a premium tonight. We saw it Sunday night that unless we get a good long green flag run, it's going to be difficult to get by, solely because you know, until the tires really start to lose all of their grip. You know, that outside line is not going to be able to do the square root of
Jack
at all.
Yeah, Kevin Paskowitz not putting down the best of times on his first lap. He puts in a 26.410, so not the fastest out there right now. Joe Morganti running some new.
Chris Bouchard at the top of the board.
Yeah, 20 thousandths of a second ahead of Mike Whitaker, who's finished his qualifying run. Stuart Lumpkin has finished his qualifying run. Johnny Antonucci jumping up to 4th place. Quentin Young up to 3rd, so times are still coming in thick and fast here at Kansas. And they do get 4 laps here, so they've got plenty of laps to get the job done here at Kansas. Tyler Vickery now dropping to 6th place, but he's still out there doing his qualifying runs as it is right now.
Ray Zirk at blisters one.
Wow, no rust on him, right?
The top 11 by less than 1/10 of a second.
Yeah, the top 5 by less than 40 thousandths of a second. That's how close it is up there. Joe Morganti throwing one down. He is up to P5.
And I would like to give a shout out to the people at SodaFix. If you guys are ever thinking about expanding towards the right coast, might I suggest the greater Syracuse area? Yeah. Just go with that thought, folks.
Absolutely. As Kevin Paskowitz looks like his qualifying run has just come to an end now. He puts a time down good enough for P9. John Napier, a late entrant into the race, so we do have 17 in this race right now, running that XS Sim Gear Machine 99, putting a time in for 13th, but he's only just started his qualifying run, so expect a faster time to come from the 99.
Of the people who put only one lap in, John's times are up there.
Yeah, he's just put his time into 8th. He's just put himself into 8th place on the grid. So good one there for John as he ends his qualifying right here.
2 and done. Okay.
Yeah, 2 and done. Rick Endorphin out on track right now. He's going to try and put a time down, and where does that put him? Nowhere. Tyler Vickery's still running laps. He's done all 4, right?
He's done about 9.
And he did this on Sunday, if I remember rightly. If I remember watching the broadcast back properly, or was it last week? Oh no, it was in Top Fuel Racing. He ran more laps than the scheduled amount, and just to get a feel for the track and see how it runs out.
And I'm noticing that Endorphin, he's running a line very differently than many of these people are putting up for their Q lap. You take a look at just about everybody else, and they were right on that white line the entire way around, maybe dipping onto the apron on the front stretch. And Endorphin his line it just seems weird to me.
Yeah, very unconventional line there for the number 8 machine. Not really lighting up the timing and scoring, though. Down in 15th place. Ronald McManus, the only person not to take a time. I'm guessing he might not be in the session, because I haven't seen him out on track once for a while now. Tyler Vickery's still turning laps there, but obviously his qualifying is over and done with. Right, let's go through the results from qualifying before we go to our national anthem segment. Ray Zerker grabbing the pole there, 12 thousandths of a second ahead of Christopher Bouchard. Third place on the grid is Mike Whitaker. Fourth is Quentin Young. Fifth, Joe Morganti. Sixth is Stuart Lumpkin. Seventh is Johnny Antonucci. Eighth, John Napier. Ninth, Tyler Vickery. And 10th, Kevin Paskowicz. Bob Lacavaris, 11th. Rookie Nate Seifka. I feel bad calling him a rookie, you know.
It feels weird calling him a rookie.
Yeah, he's sitting in 12th. Greg Napier, one of the veterans in the league. That feels weird calling him one of those. He's sitting 13th. Mr. Fist, Terry Adams. He is 14th. Rick Endorphin is 15th. Cody Eldred putting down a very slow lap time. I'm guessing he must have wrecked on his qualifying run. He's in 16th. Ronald McManus, the only driver yet to take a time. Right, as we go to the race session, let's ask everybody to stand on their feet, put their hands on the heart, as we now go to our national anthem segment. So here we are then. The national anthem has been done. Everybody take your seats.
I would like to remind everybody that the national anthem tonight was being brought to you by TDA Motorsports. TDA Motorsports proudly supporting the Disabled American Veterans Association. DAV is an all-volunteer fleet of non-critical medical transport for America's veterans. More information on how you can get involved, we ask that you go to dav.org.
Absolutely, I was just about to get to that. But anyway, we are about to go green on this race machine. That was a happy accident. Anyway, let's go to our grid for tonight's race. I know, right?
Wow.
I know.
Now, which one of us has been drinking tonight already?
Me, possibly. I might have had a couple of shots of Jägermeister. But no, that's beside the point. Anyway, let's go to our grid for tonight's race. Starting on the pole with an unofficial lap record of 25.737 is Ray Zerkett. Ray Zerkett, he'll be joined by last week's race winner and Sunday's race winner, Mr. Christopher Bouchard. Row 2 will be Mike Whitaker and Quentin Young. Row 3 will be Joe Morganti and Stuart Lumpkin. Row 4 will be Johnny Antonucci and John Napier. And row 5 will be Tyler Vickery and Kevin Paskowicz, Tony.
Bob Lacavara and Nate Siefker make up row number 6. Row 7 is going to go to Greg Napier and Mr. Terry Adams. Rick Humberford and Cody Eldred make up row number 8. And starting shotgun on the field, looks like Ron McManus.
And that is if Ron McManus is in the session, which it doesn't look like he is right now, but hopefully he will be a late addition into this thing as we're just about to get them going again, get them going for tonight's race. Let's go and click on Ray Zerkett there in...
There he is.
Yeah, there
he finally gridded up.
Yeah, as we're waiting for him to come out of pit road, let's go and look at the pit lane there. There they are all lined up as the pace car finally peels off.
140 laps of scheduled distance tonight. We ask that you don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And if you like the action that you're seeing on track, go ahead and drop a comment below with your iRacing screen name, and we'll get it passed along to the league admins and see if we can't get you added into a future event.
Absolutely. As they all leave pit road now, they are 2 by 2 as they make their way through turns 1 and 2. Ray Zerkett on your pole. As a reminder, last week's race winner and Sunday's race winner, Chris Bouchard, hoping to sweep the week here tonight. Mike Whitaker and Quentin Young, look for them on the second row. They're going to be strong targets. And look for Joe Morganti. He's a former race winner here at Kansas, Tony. So he's definitely going to be one to look out for tonight.
And I would like to apologize to our Facebook friends. Apparently I screwed up the feed tonight. We are just now going live on Facebook.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I kind of effed that up on us.
Oh, okay. Anyway, pace cars off. We're going to get them going again for 140 laps here at Kansas. Ray Zerkett holding them down, and away we go. 140 laps here at Kansas, and Chris Bouchard, a fantastic start on that outside, and takes the lead, Tony.
And here comes Quentin Young on the inside as they work their way through the 1-2 complex. Bouchard with the lead, Zerkett in second, and Quentin Young and Mike Whitaker duke it out for that number 3 spot.
And Joe Morganti's there as well, because he's managed to get past Stuart Lumpkin pretty easily. And now he's got the inside line, looking at Mike Whitaker, but hits the apron on the exit at turn 4. Still carries the momentum as they cross the line.
And Joe Morganti blinking badly right now.
Absolutely, as Chris Bouchard still leads the way, managing to get the connection problems out the way. By the looks of things, as Mike Whitaker dropping back in response to that. He's dropped back to 6th now. Johnny Antonucci in the top 10. Johnny Antonucci's another one to watch here, Tony, because he finished 2nd a couple of seasons ago, and he would desperately love to get a win here tonight.
Yeah, that was a rough one, though, for Johnny on Sunday. Luckily, he is out of the hospital as Kevin Paskowicz and Johnny Antonucci had a meeting of the minds, shall we say, coming to the checker.
Yeah, and they're on the same piece of real estate as well as Paskowicz. Right behind Antonucci there as they make their way through turns 3 and 4. Tyler Vickery is going to be given the inside line. I can't help but think that Vickery and Paskowicz are working together at this point to try and make their way through the pack.
That's the safe bet right now. We saw him do it last night. You know, the PH Aware crew chiefs are working overtime, working together, making sure that, their drivers are going to be around at the end of this event. And, don't count them out yet. We've still got a ways to go in this one. We're only working lap number 5.
And it's very close to the front. I mean, Kansas has always been known for very chippy driving, as Ray Zirkett and Quentin Young very close to each other. Quentin Young slightly leaning on the number 17 of Zirkett, but gets around the outside, gets the position away, but still not got that 100% momentum on the outside, or does he, as they make their way out of turn 4 alongside Bouchard now as they cross the line. Give that one to Bouchard.
It was a relatively close one. A little bit of Nerf action going on there.
Yeah.
I don't mean the foam footballs that you can buy at your local toy store.
Not Toys R Us.
No, Toys R Us is going out of business.
They're already out of business. They closed back in February, I think. Anyway, I think it was April they closed, actually. Anyway, there's Joe Morganti getting on the inside of Quentin Young there. No love lost between the 53 and the 91, as Joe Morganti also almost loses it and gets into the back of Ray Zirkett right there.
Well, Morganti, he's fighting right now to stay in Zirkett's draft, but he's also trying to stay off of both Zirkett and Young, and at the same time struggling to stay off of the apron. So there's a lot going on in the cockpit right now of the 53 as he touches the apron coming through the 1-2 complex.
Yeah, but he's got support right behind him now, as here comes John Napier in the 99, trying to work. He's working on Stuart Lumpkin right now, trying to get around him and into the top 5. John Napier said earlier that he was probably not going to run this race, so hasn't run many practice laps, but he seems to be okay right now as he is fighting it out with the 199. There is Mike Whitaker working on the outside of his teammate Johnny Antonucci, who's there in 8th place. 9th is Kevin Pasquich. 10th is Tyler Vickery, and another teammate behind them is Nate Siefko. He's worked his way up into the top 11 now.
And Cody Eldred right now just minding his own business at the back of the pack. Just not time to go yet for our Season 1 IR05 champion. And I would like to point out Mike Whitaker, Season 2 IR05 champion.
No, that's Creighton Carter.
No.
Is Mike Whitaker's the Season 1 DW12 champion?
DW12.
Yeah.
You're right.
The now defunct DW12 championship.
You're not wrong.
Oh, and that is Bouchard and Quentin Young in it. Bouchard not wanting to see that at the start of this race. Let's go back to 30 seconds and find out what happened right there as they make their way down the American Ethanol backstretch. On the inside there, Quentin Young pinching him down slightly as they make their way round turn 4. See what happens.
Young did not give Bouchard a lane.
Absolutely, there's Bouchard, there's Young as they make their way. Yeah, there it was. And that is a characteristic of Quentin Young, though. He does like to pinch down slightly just to get that side draft off the other cars, but clearly it did not work this time around.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm watching Bouchard try to limp back to pits, and that car is going anywhere but straight.
As he hits the wall again.
Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah, just tow it, Chris, as he does.
Wow.
So caution number 1 here after 12 laps at Kansas Speedway. And Ray Zirkett's still holding on to, well, he's holding on to the lead now after being promoted to that point. Joe Morganti's second, very dangerous man in second place. Stuart Lumpkin, he's had an impressive start to the season then, in that 199.
He has, as a couple drivers taking it down pit road. Mike Whitaker, Nate Seeker, Greg Napier, Cody Eldred, all going pit side for Fresh Firestone Firehawks.
Nate Seeker's the first one to move, but it looks like Mike Whitaker's going to win the race off pit road, and he does. So 4 cars there taking it easy under the caution, and as they all are now sitting behind the pace car. Again, caution number 1 brought out after a collision between the 2 leaders, Quentin Young and Chris Bouchard.
And actually, I just went back and looked again.
Yeah.
I could have walked my fat crippled ass between those 2 cars when they both went sideways.
Oh, so it was netcode.
Well, it was either netcode or bounding box. I'm leaning more toward bounding box, and that's something that the drivers are forgetting, because the IR18 and for the most part the DW12 doesn't have as much of a bounding box issue as the IR05s do. The box on these cars is just ridiculous. Because if you look at any one of the cars from a head-on view, the front tires stick out more than the rears.
Yeah.
So the bounding box, it's actually a box, and it doesn't narrow at the back like it probably should. It's there. So if you're not careful, it's very easy to get what would in real life be a phantom touch, front tire to rear tire.
Absolutely, and it's always difficult at this kind of track. I mean, those bounding box issues, we've seen them before here, and they do take out a lot of drivers, unfortunately. But meanwhile, we're back under. Well, the lights are off on the pace car. We're about to get them green again. Tony, why don't you get us going again?
Ray Zirkut brought him to the first green. He's going to bring him to the second green. Joe Morganti up into second. Going to have his teammate John Napier behind him. It's an all-Texas second row right now, with Stuart Lumpkin starting right next to John Napier. Paskowicz and Antonucci, Hummerford, Vickery, Adams, and Lacavara running at top 10. His pace car makes that hard left-hand turn. Zirkut in control of the field, holding them down a little bit. Green flag comes out. They all pull the trigger, and looks like everybody getting away relatively clean this time.
There's Ray Zirkut defending that inside line from Joe Morganti. Joe Morganti just being patient right now, going to slot right in behind the number 17 and just wait patiently, and doesn't want to race it too hard at this point in the race, because Joe Morganti knows better than anybody that the race will come to him. He can't take the race to them at this point.
Way too early to be worrying about that.
Yeah.
And one thing I would like to point out too, being as both broadcasting is a staunch supporter of pulmonary hypertension awareness, I do have to give a nod to the entire Strange Nuts racing team for running the periwinkle wings tonight. That's the purple on Morganti's wing, the purple on John Napier's wing, and the purple on Greg Napier's wing, as well as you'll notice the PH Aware logo on the nose cones of those cars. You know, and I'm a big fan of any driver who's willing to put a charitable organization on their vehicle, and try to bring awareness to any worthy charity through esports.
And speaking of PH Aware, look who's just made his way up to P3. That is Kevin Paskowicz, come out of nowhere and is already into the top 3. So great restart for that number 7 there, as he now sets his sights on Joe Morganti and Ray Zirkut, Tony.
Okay, so KP, now that Sam's jinxed you, all you got to do is just wait for him to come over for Super Dirt Week, drive to New York, and kick him in the stones.
Yeah, we need to get him on that. Yeah.
Oh, Simon Italy.
As another person heard from here tonight is Johnny Antonucci. He's made his way up to the top 5 as well, so good move for him. John Napier losing a few spots down there in 6th place, and Rick Hodorfin is there in 7th. Tyler Vickery 8th. Nate Siefka up to 9th now, battling it out with Bob Lacavara in that nicely painted Convergent Composites machine. And Mike Whisker dropping out the top 10 now after that pit stop.
I almost didn't recognize Bob's car. That's he's running a paint scheme very similar to Terry Adams, and I thought it was Terry till I saw the number on it.
Yes, Terry Adams is actually right behind him in that.
That was the second tip off. Is they're both running kind of a Mike Whitaker kind of feel on their car tonight.
Absolutely. Let's go back to our leaders as Kevin Paskowicz slotted into 3rd place there. He's got Stuart Lumpkin right behind him in the 199. And everybody's racing. Everyone's getting really chippy at this point, and it's a bit too early for that.
Well, they're only getting ready to start lap 22 of 140. There's a ton of racing left to go, and yeah, you just hit the nail on the head, Sam. That, you know, as hard as these guys are going, you would think it's the last 5 laps of the race. And if they keep going at this rate, for some of them, it might be the last 5 laps of their race.
Yeah, and speaking of people that race like it was the last lap, Quentin Young is back out on track, and look at the way he's moving through the field right now. He's driving like an angry man right now as he works on the outside of Rico Dauphine. He's 2 laps down, so it looks like he's going to try and get his laps back the hard way. Chris Bouchard is out on track again. He's 2 laps down as well, but he's all on his own, so watch for him to get lapped soon as they're doing the Indy Snake down the American Ethanol backstraight.
Well, Quentin Young's not doing anything out of the normal. You know, being from Syracuse, that's the way you drive normal rush hour traffic on I-690. I'm not kidding. It's one of the reasons why I try to avoid 690 during rush hour. You know, solely because my blood pressure can't take this type of driving.
Absolutely. Someone scraped the wall at back there. I didn't quite see who that was, but someone is going to have a bent front wing back there. Anyway, the lead battle.
I'm looking.
The lead battle is really hotting up right now between Paskowicz, Morganti, and Zerka. Don't count out Lumpkin or Antonucci. They're both there as well. As Cody Eldred now making his way through the field. He's up to P6 now. And
no, they were 3 wide for a second there.
Oh, Nate Siefka's missing the front wing. I'm guessing that was him that hit the wall.
I see him just fine.
Oh, must be me then.
I'm actually seeing everybody fine right now. Don't know what's going on there. But speaking of Nate Siefker, shout out to Nate for repping both for broadcasting. I believe I have a new favorite paint scheme.
Yeah. Made that for him last week. He was meant to run it last week, but he forgot to put it on his car, which was annoying. But yeah, he's repping the bow for broadcasting on the side. Got the stars and stripes on the side pods there, and he's rocking his usual Best Buy logo on the rear wing and the Rockstar logo on the engine cover. So yeah, or Worst Buy as you call it.
Worst Buy, only because I'm not a fan of the store. I mean, don't get me wrong. The whole tech support thing that they have. What do they call them? Nerd Squad, Geek Squad,
Geek Squad.
Those people in that branch of that company know what they're doing. The rest of the company,
that's Tyler Vickery in that. Tyler Vickery's in trouble, and he did not want this tonight. We spoke to him earlier, and he didn't want to be caught up in any wrecks tonight. As there he is coming out of turn 2. Sorry, getting my corners mixed up again. And
no, you had it right the first time.
No, I'm watching replay.
Stand.
Yeah. See what happens.
Apron touched by John Napier, and then just total netcode.
Yeah, that was absolute netcode there between Vickery and Napier. So unlucky for Tyler Vickery, but he's got 3 fast repairs. He can get that thing back out there and still be competitive. As we're under caution again for the second time tonight.
Yeah, he's going to have to tow that.
Yeah, we know what
that car is not going straight,
yeah.
And there are wheels not touching the ground from the view I have.
Yes, he did tow it in the end. He is in pit road right now.
Yeah.
As they're all bringing it down pit road right now, so let's go to our pit lane camera, which is always being blocked by the flipping overlay. Let's go to our pit times there, as they're all coming down pit road. Zerka, Morganti, Paskowicz, Antonucci, Eldred, Lumpkin, Siefka, Napier, Greg Napier, and Rick and Dauphine all down pit road right now, as there are the 2 Pinnacle cars at the back there making their way into their pit boxes. It looks like Mike Whitaker stayed out. Yeah, he did.
Whitaker stayed out to grab that bonus point for leading a lap, which is probably going to piss off Chris Bouchard if he doesn't pit this time.
Yeah.
Because Quentin Young was in position to get the lucky dog, to get one of the 2 laps back. I'm sure There's probably Bouchard's probably using words and phrases that would make a sailor blush. Right now, being Whitaker sitting in front of him.
Absolutely. As Joe Morganti actually won the race off pit road, so he is in second place now. Ray Zerkert not getting the pit stop he wanted. He's back there in third. Paskowicz fourth. Eldred moving up to fifth now after that pit stop. Antonucci sixth. Biggest mover in the pit stops was actually Nate Sievka. He's jumped from 9th to 7th. So good pit stop for the triple two there.
And yeah, Whitaker actually stayed out.
Yeah.
And Bouchard went pit side.
So Bouchard's not going to be happy there, as it looks like Vickery is still towing because he's 150 seconds in pit road right now.
True story.
Quentin Young's in pit road now after getting his lucky dog, so he's going to be on fresh tyres and have a full tank of fuel now, as Whitaker's going to be on the back foot here because this is a tyres track, Tony, and he's 19 laps on his tyres already.
I'm thinking Whitaker stayed out just to make sure he got the bonus point. Expect Mike Whitaker to go down pit road this time, both because of fuel strategy and because he knows what warm tires are going to do once they go back to green.
Absolutely. As we're looking at Mike Whitaker there, he actually started third tonight. He's led 2 laps here. Those were under caution, the ones he's leading right now. Always the man that like waits patiently until it's actually time to go, and when he does go, my God, there's no stopping him.
Well, that's why Whitaker was Season 1 DW12 champion. And Whitaker stays out.
So, interesting strategy there by the 707. He stays out, and it looks like the lights are going to go off on the pace car this time round, and they do. Do they? Yes, they do.
And that's quite interesting. Apparently, Whitaker has a pit strategy formulated, and he's not deviating from when he had planned to stop.
Yeah, but again, he's gonna
caution laps be damned.
Absolutely. As we are 1 to green again, the lights are off on the pace car.
Ray Zerkert is in the pits.
So interesting strategy for Zerkert there, as he has taken it down.
No, he's been in the pits for over a minute.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm thinking he's probably going to put it behind the wall.
Safe bet.
As the field works its way down the American Ethanol back straightaway here at the D-shaped Demon of the Midwest.
Yeah, it's waiting for the pace car to peel off here. Mike Whitaker is at the front. Joe Morganti's on his outside. Paskowicz third. Eldred up to fourth now after Zerkert taking the pit side unexpectedly. Definitely going to be an interesting restart here as the pace car peels off, and Mike Whitaker gets him going early. Great restart, even better restart for Kevin Paskowicz, as he's going to jump into second now, and Morganti is trapped upon that high side. He's going to lose a position there, and if he's not careful, he's going to lose another one to Cody Eldred, but luckily he gets his act together and actually defends from the number 14.
Well, Cody Eldred is one of those racers that he knows just how early in the race this is. We're not even to the 100 to go mark, so Cody wasn't going to fight Joe that hard for that spot. You know, because Cody's the type of guy that he understands the meaning of, in order to finish first you must finish.
Absolutely, as he's currently just sitting there behind the 53 of Joe Morganti. Nate Siefka has worked his way up to the top 5 as well. He's sitting right there. Throw your blanket over the top 5 and you're about half a second back to Johnny Antonucci, Tony.
And Johnny Antonucci has his mirrors filled right now for the Prestige Vapory 51 of Greg Napier.
Yeah, and Stuart Lumpkin is there as well, as Greg Napier there working on the outside of the 59 of Antonucci. Stuart Lumpkin also trying to force an inside line there on Napier, but slots to the outside line and slots in behind him again. Interesting racing so far, as here comes Quentin Young again, trying to get his lap back the hard way as he works on the outside of his arch nemesis Chris Bouchard.
Well, Bouchard was right on the transmission tunnel of Quentin Young coming through the tri-oval. And again, like you said, no love lost between these two. Don't expect any quarter asked for or given between the 28 and the 91.
Absolutely, as they make their way across the line, Mike Whitaker is still your leader, 1/10 of a second ahead of Kevin Paskowicz, who's literally got his wing mirrors full of the 53, but the 53 in turn has his wing mirrors full of the 14 of Season 1 champion Cody Eldred. Nate Siefka looks like seems to be dropping back slightly, just waiting patiently to see what happens. And Nate Siefka, we've seen this a lot with Nate, he likes to be patient during these kind of races.
We've seen a lot of Nate from the Top Fuel series that will be broadcasting tomorrow night as they go to Brands Hatch.
Auto Club done Brands Hatch.
Oh, I'm sorry, Auto Club this week for the it's a special event, folks. You're not going to want to miss it.
Yeah, let me find out what it is, because I know what it is. I've got the picture.
I've got the picture too. I just don't want to take my eyes off of what's going on the track right now. As Siefka goes to the outside of Eldred, going down the American Ethanol back straightaway. And here comes Antonucci on the inside.
Yeah, Antonucci is a dangerous racer around here. He knows how to get it done. Very close to getting a win here 2 seasons ago after losing it to Joe Morganti. He's got the inside line. He's got the favourable line as he takes away P5 from Nate Siefka. And Greg Napier's going to make his way on that inside line as well and take away 6th place from the number 222.
Well, Antonucci and Napier just put that second pack on their back and just drug them forward. So we now have one giant pack again.
Yeah, it's in the midfield there. They're getting very chippy there as Rick Endorphin almost shuffled into the wall there by Quentin Young, who's trying to work on the inside there. Very, very close racing. Even though Quentin Young is a lap down, he's racing like he's on the lead lap.
And that's something we've seen a lot out of Quentin Young is, you know, he's even when he's a lap down, he's still quick and can still hold his own as he's working to the inside of Bob Lacavara, and that's not going to make the Convergent Composites number 5 driver very happy.
Not at all, as there they are side by side. That is Quentin Young on the inside, Rick Endorphin on the outside, Bob Lacavara just ahead of the 91. The 91 not wasting any time trying to get his lap back the highway. Let's go back to the leaders as Mike Whitaker still clinging on to that bottom line. The bottom line is the favourable line here at Kansas, so must be frustrating Kevin Paskowicz at this time, but we all know Kevin Paskowicz likes to be patient, but the run he's had lately, I think that patience is wearing very thin right now.
Very much so, and if you go back to the battle for 7th right now, that's father and son running side by side.
Absolutely, as for some reason my...
Oh
no, that is Nate Siefka. As no caution.
A little bit of a touch from Cody Eldred. It's basically a replay of what we saw happen to our leaders to bring out the first caution, only neither one of them ended up in the wall. Just Siefka spun it, and we're still green.
Yeah, as I apologise for the technical difficulties there, my ATVO decided to take a poop. Always fun, isn't it, Tony?
If by fun you mean that it's one of those situations where you'd rather slam certain parts of your anatomy in a broken sliding glass door.
Yeah, that one. As Nate Siefka spinning it out there. He's got no damage on that car by looks of things, so he managed to keep it going. Didn't hit anything when he spun out, so he's there in P12. Quentin Young is there in 13th, but a lap behind him, so Nate Siefka not under any threats right now. Let's go back to the leaders, throw a blanket over that top 4 as we've got Mike Whitaker leading this thing as Paskowicz is there in 2nd, Morganti 3rd, and Cody Eldred 4th, and you're over, we were almost half a second back to Johnny Antonucci as they've split up again after that incident.
Well, Antonucci did the right thing. He saw what was going on in front of him and came off the gas, and apparently everybody else behind saw as well. as that's really let these top four start to get away.
As I'm trying to figure out when Mike Whitaker is actually going to bring it down pit road, because he's been out there so much longer than everybody else, and yet he's still leading this piece.
Double the amount of time right this second. He's running lap 36. Everybody else is on lap 18.
So he's running double the amount of laps on those tyres, and those tyres must be screaming for help right now, as his fuel level will be getting low, so he will be one of the first to pit at this point in the race if we stay green. But Mike Whitaker likes to use this type of strategy. He likes to be the first one down pit road and like backtrack his laps on as the race goes further in.
True story, but he's got to be praying for a caution right now. Oh, there it is.
Caution. Caution.
As that is Rick Endorphin going round.
And Chris Bouchard.
Oh, so Bouchard in it again. Can't help but think that I may have jinxed him at the start of the show.
Your fault.
Yeah, my fault.
Okay, so Bouchard caught the apron and just got run over from behind.
Yeah, as we're
By
seeing
the 8.
We're seeing it going on. Oh, wow, that was... Oh, Terry Adams almost taking the race car to the face as well. That was a violent crash, and Tony is going to be the first one tonight.
Thank God this is a simulator.
Absolutely, and there's that caution that Mike Whitaker was crying out for as Cody Eldred stays out. So, interesting strategy for the former champ as he's there behind the pace car, but nevertheless, Mike Whitaker got that caution he wanted. He's bringing it down pit road right now. Let's bring up the pit stop counter there, as let's see who's going to win the race off pit road. Nate Siefka must have been a happy guy to get that out of the way, as well as Kevin Paskowicz is going to win the race off pit road by a country mile, Tony.
And I would like to point out Tyler Vickery has just put it behind the wall.
Interesting. We need to have a talk with that boy afterwards.
Yeah. But Paskowicz winning the battle off pit road has hit his marks almost perfect.
Yes.
Cody Eldred staying out, Bob Lacavara staying out, and Terry Adams staying out.
So that is Three Musket Beers representative Cody Eldred, all on his own for his team tonight. So really flying the flag for them tonight. But we've got two Pinnacle Motorsports cars that are in the shape of Bob Lacavara and Mr. Hanover Fist Terry Adams staying out there in second and third respectively. First winner off pit road, Kevin Paskowicz, is in fourth. Joe Morganti is in fifth. Sixth is Mike Whitaker. Seventh, Johnny Antonucci. Eighth, John Napier. Ninth, Stuart Lumpkin. And rounding out the top 10 is Greg Napier. Still in 11th place despite his spin during the green flag run. A very happy man to see the caution come out was Nate Siefka. So, Tony, who do you want to jinx?
Excuse me, I have to go scold a 21-year-old.
Okay. While Tony's doing that, I'm going to go and find someone to jinx. And
let's talk to, let's see, where is he? I got it.
Okay, I'll let you conduct this one.
So, from the penthouse to the outhouse to under the outhouse, the battle is on for the number 28 to try to sweep the week. Chris Bouchard, do you think you can turn your luck around for the remainder of this race?
I hope so.
Talk us through what just happened, sir.
Just biding my time, hoping for a caution. Came off a 4. Touched the apron a little bit, had to get out of the throttle, and sadly Rick was right behind me and he couldn't react quick enough.
Well, fair enough. Chris, notice the lights are going out on the pace car. We'll let you get back to it. Best of luck to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, there you heard it. He caught the apron and he taking the blame himself on that one. as look who's going to be starting directly next to Chris Bouchard on this one.
That would be the 91 of Mr. Quentin Young, who's actually back on the lead lap now, so look for him to come through the field.
Yeah, Quentin Young back on the lead lap, so 12 cars still on the lead lap, 14 cars still running of the 17. I'm sorry, the 16 that took the green. Tyler Vickery retired. Ray Zirkett
still on pit road,
having a prolonged bathroom break.
Snap it off, Ray. Get back out on track.
Pinch it off, man. Pinch it off. Yeah, we're going to hell for that one.
Get us going again, Tony.
The field working its way through the 3-4 complex. IR05 Season 1 champion Cody Eldred going to lead him back to green as the pace car makes a hard left turn. And Eldred rolls into the throttle. Lacavara and Fisk going with him. And here comes Paskowicz.
Yeah, Paskowicz not wasting any time, and looks like he's going to try and split the two Pinnacle cars as he works on Bob Lacavara first, straight on the inside of the number 5. Gonna take that position away, or is he? Because Bob Lacavara's still got a lot of momentum on that outside, despite being on old tyres. But there he goes on the inside of the 5, takes away 3rd place. Next up on his list is Mr. Terry Adams, and Terry Adams. I've been seeing a lot of aggression out of Mr. Terry Adams lately, and he's not been giving up his positions that easily lately.
Terry Adams, one of the most successful drivers in ISL history, who has yet to win a race.
So he's the Sterling Moss of the league. Oh no, Chris Amon.
I was about to say Sterling Moss won a race.
Yeah. Chris Amon
won a couple of them actually.
So we're going to compare him to Chris Amon. If you don't know who Chris Amon is, he raced in Formula 1 in the 70s. He was always up there, but never won a race. He was probably the most unlucky, the most successful driver never to win a race.
Holds the record for 2nd place finishes.
Yep. There we see Terry Adams actually defending that inside line on Kevin Paskowicz, as Terry Adams is now working on the back of Cody Eldred. It looks like Terry Adams might get a run on the 14 as Eldred pinches up slightly and defends from the 69. Terry Adams looks up for this tonight.
Apparently Terry, one of the senior members of the league, as a matter of fact, I believe the average age for Pinnacle Motorsports is 64, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
So you've got Terry, Bob, Mike, and Johnny. And I believe Johnny's the young gunner of the entire team.
He is. I think he's in his 50s still. Or 60s. No, is he? Wait.
I believe you're right. Late 50s.
Yeah.
And he's the only one who is not yet of retirement age.
He's definitely not showing any signs of retirement anyway, as he's working on the back of the 99 of John Napier, choosing that outside line, trying to see if he can put a groove down there, but really not working this time around as he ducks back in behind Napier and see if he can get a run, as I'm hearing people wrecking.
Nate Siefker gets turned.
What happened to Siefker? Let's go back and see what happened there, as he's racing with Napier, Young and Bouchard. Bouchard obviously still 2 laps down, so...
Turned him.
Oh no.
Bouchard just flat turned him.
Welcome to the league, kid. So that's Nate Siefker's initiation done and out of the way.
Yep.
As he actually blinked out when he crossed the grass, so connection problems for Siefker as well. Or it might.
But yeah, that's a rough one. It just flat got turned.
Yeah, as we're still under green, so still no damage there for Nate Siefker. Still not hit anything, but he's 2 laps down now after that, and he is in pit road to get a bit of damage fixed. But while we were looking at the accident, Kevin Paskowicz is actually up to 2nd now. Bob Lacavara up to 3rd. John Morganti back up to the top 5 in 5th place, and Mike Whitaker up to the top 5 as well, as he's putting a move on his teammate.
Whitaker's up there, and it's good to see.
Quentin Young into the wall in a big way. Oh, sorry, Tony.
Ow. My ears?
Sorry. I have to go. That was my reaction to that. It was such a hard hit. You'll see when you find out in a minute. But his car, bounding box issue.
Holy tap dancing.
I shouldn't be laughing because if that was a real car, he'd be dead right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have lost Quentin Young.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, we kind of make light of it only because this is a simulator, but you're right, Sam. If this had been a real race, we'd be going to a funeral tomorrow because that was one of the hardest hits I've seen in a while. And at the angle he hit, that was a guaranteed basilar skull fracture. Even with a Hans device, you're still breaking your neck.
Yeah, that was. I don't even want to.
That was scary.
And I was talking about another person that actually in real life had a crash at that speed was Kenny Brack, and we can only remember the amount of damage he suffered on his.
Well, the last
body.
time I saw a car hit that hard, it was Greg Moore.
Yeah,
and we all know what happened to Greg, unfortunately. So yeah, wow! Thank God this is a simulator, folks.
yes, we have someone who wants to join us in the booth for the remainder of the race. That is one Mr. Nate Seifker, if I can find him. He is done for the night, so he's going to join us in the booth for the remainder of this event. Nate, tough one for you, dude. Just having your race ended that way.
Yeah, tonight wasn't a very good night for me.
Welcome to the league, kid.
Yeah. I had a bit of the grass with rival and then had a spin there, so I said twice is enough. Not gonna risk a third and just called it a night.
Well, at least your initiation's out of the way now. You can actually race clean now.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I heard some people said I had some connection issues, and I kind of thought I did, but I didn't think they're that bad. But oh well, I guess I'll live to find another day. So
we're just calming down up here in the booth after seeing Quentin Young absolutely murder himself in the outside wall.
Well, he had help for what it's worth.
Yeah, John Napier was to his inside. It didn't look like there was any contact between the two cars. I was thinking it was another bounding box issue.
No, there was contact.
Well, there was going to be contact if there wasn't contact. So
well,
that was one of those deals where you were damned if you do and or damned if you didn't and effed if you did.
Yes, Quentin Young suffers the biggest hit we've ever seen here on Bofa Broadcasting, and that is not putting it lightly. In almost a year since we started broadcasting, we've never ever seen a wreck that violent before.
Well, you got to figure he was 233 miles an hour at the point of contact.
Yeah, and he's still out there on the track. How is he doing this? Fast repairs?
yeah, fast repairs.
Has he used it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did use a fast repair. That car's no longer crabbing. I didn't even see him go down pit road. But I would like to point out that our top 9 stayed out.
Yeah, not. Terry Adams is still on older tyres than everybody else in that top 9, as well as Cody Eldred. So, and Bob Lacavara as well. So some strategy there between Adams, Lacavara, and Eldred. I'm wondering if some collusion is going on between those three.
Well, tires felt pretty good tonight to have, so I'm surprised that more people haven't pitted than that.
Yes, we're 2x2 again. Kevin Paskowicz is on the inside as Cody Eldred, the first one to choose the outside line here tonight at Kansas. So interesting strategy by the rating, the season 1 champion, as he's got an angry pack of dogs behind him because everybody seems to be racing each other hard tonight.
Yeah, it's been pretty competitive all night long, that's for sure.
So making the
Sam, be right back.
yeah, that's fine. So making their way into turns 3 and 4 behind the pace car. Lights are off again. We're about to get them going once again. That was caution number 2. No, not caution number 2. Caution number 3. Amazingly. Waiting for the pace car to make that hard left turn into pit road. As there it goes. Cody Eldred waiting to get him going. He's holding him down this time, and away we go. We're under green again. Starting lap.
Morganti and Paskowicz on another drag race into turn number 1.
Yeah, Cody Eldred absolutely caught them napping on the restart.
Yeah, that was by far the best restart of the night from any leader so far that we've seen. So, good job from him. It's going to be interesting to see how far he can keep this gap.
Not for very long, as we've seen in oval racing in this league before. You may get off to a big jump start, but they will catch you within a lap or two, and that's exactly the case right now. As here comes Paskowicz and Morganti. They've got it down to 0.2 of a second already, as there's another caution. Quentin Young again going for a ride. What is that boy's got a death wish. I swear, he's got a death wish. As we see him side by side with Johnny Antonucci, who was the other person involved in that caution, as they're coming out of turns 3 and 4.
And there's something you don't see often. Johnny Antonucci just called Quentin Young the southbound end of a northbound horse, and told him that he likes to have relations with himself.
Wow.
The quietest guy in the league just vented his frustration. That's something that you don't see hardly ever. So
Yeah.
you know it's bad when Johnny Nice Guy
Turns into Johnny Bad Guy.
turns into Johnny Dangerously.
Yeah, but you can see why Johnny Antonucci was angry. Quentin Young did come down on him.
Without any shadow of a doubt. You know when when Johnny Antonucci starts questioning your driving skill, you know you done effed up.
Oh, absolutely. As we're looking at pit,
Because Johnny wouldn't say shit if he had a mouth full of them.
absolutely. As we've just seen Joe Morganti and Cody Eldred take it down pit road.
And Bob Lacavara stayed out again.
Yeah, so did Terry Adams. They're both there in, well, all 3 Pinnacle cars are there, second, third, and 2, 3, and 4. John Napier there in the top 5 as well. Greg Napier 6th, Stuart Lumpkin 7th. 8th is Cody Eldred after bringing it down pit road. 9th is Joe Morganti after also bringing it down pit road. Rick Endorphin coming back around the track after getting his lucky dog. But Quentin Young out of this event now after that. I'm guessing that was his last fast repair used up, right?
Yeah, he brought up the first caution.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
Trying to think of the other incidents. He's the 3rd and the 4th caution, maybe.
He's been
He's been in three of the 4 cautions.
Yeah. And all 3 of them were, thank God this is a simulator moment.
You're not wrong.
But
Would like to remind everybody you are watching a presentation of the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League. RobertsTechJobs.com, of course, is your Midwest leader in temp to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest, or if you're looking to relocate, go to RobertsTechJobs.com and be sure to let Bill know that the ISL sent you.
Also want to give a shout out to Prestige Vapory. You see them on the side of Greg Napier's car. They are one of the main sponsors for Strange Nuts Motorsports, and also one of our biggest supporters out there. And they are probably watching right now. So hello guys. If you want a great deal on your vaping peripherals and are interested in seeing what they have to offer, then visit their website and see what. Oh, they don't have a website.
Go to their Facebook page.
Oh, they have a Facebook page. So
their Facebook page is much better than any website that they could possibly have right now. So go to their Facebook page, Prestige Vapory. If you're in the greater San Antonio, Texas Metroplex, Prestige Vapory is where you want to get all your vaping paraphernalia and peripherals from.
Absolutely. I also want to give a mention to PZ Overlays. If you want to overlay for your broadcast like the one you see on your screen right now, then go no further than PZ Overlays. That is Paul Zota. Give him a shout out on Facebook. Also, I'd be remiss if I did not mention pH Aware, one of the most hard to diagnose diseases out there in the medical world right now. If you want to see how you can spread awareness, and if you want to make a donation, then please go to either phaware.global or phaware.org.
And speaking of pH Aware, Kevin Paskowicz in the Pulmonary Hypertension Awareness, the mighty Paskey Sports, and Ride to Give number 7, gonna have control of the field when we go back to green. The lights are out on the pace car, and somebody just hand grenaded an engine in the pits.
I'm guessing that might have been either Antonucci or...
No, Antonucci's on the track.
Ah. Was it you, Nate?
I don't think so.
No,
Zerkut's
Zerkut.
also in the pit, yeah.
It was Zerkut's car.
So, Tony, your turn to go.
Paskowicz checking the tires as they go down into the turn 3 complex, testing to see how hard he can gag it when the pace car makes that hard left turn. And he's going to have to be on the button because he's got some of the hardest racers around him, with Season 1 DW12 champion Mike Whitaker starting right on his transmission tunnel. The Paskowicz holds him down, stutter steps it, and then just gags it. As we are back live at the D-shaped demon of the Midwest, Kansas Speedway.
Yeah, and here comes Kevin Paskowicz. Got an amazing jump at that restart, but as we saw on the last restart, Cody Eldred was caught very quickly, and who better to chase him down than the 707, the 707 of Mike Whitaker. I forgot what you used to call him.
The world's fastest hippie.
That's the one, the world's fastest hippie, chasing him down as Bob Lacavara into third, John Napier up to fourth now. So great move on the restart to get past Terry Adams. So John Napier on a charge right now in that XS sim gear machine.
Plenty of single file. Actually, not anybody really wanting to take it too wide and just kind of just ride. We're just over halfway now with 76 down, and we got 140 laps to complete. So we've got plenty of laps to go here.
Yeah, and you can't really blame them for going single file and just settling down a bit, as we've seen in the past when they go side by side and they're racing as closely as they are. Well, we've seen 3 examples of it from Quentin Young going into the outside wall and just absolutely annihilating his car.
True story. As Terry Adams under attack right now, he's in a Napier sandwich, currently holding down the number 5 spot. John in 4th, Greg in 6th. So, you know, Terry running, defending against Greg and still trying to figure out a way to get past John.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm seeing in Greg's strategy there. Is he trying to push him on the outside, or is he just using the draft to stay with him? I'm not sure what Greg's strategy is right there, but if it were me, I'd have dropped to the inside line to try and get past him with John Napier, but Greg's really sticking to that high line as he finally brings it down to the bottom as a easy defense from Stuart Lumpkin.
Well, and I'm thinking that, yeah, that's the biggest thing right there, is he was defending against Stewart and trying to figure out what to do with Terry, if he wanted to go with Terry around his father, or if he wanted to go with his father.
As he's flirting with the apron there, going across the line. Remember, the apron is out of bounds here at Kansas. You will be given a black flag if you go onto that apron. So very, very close there for Greg Napier. Let's go back to our leaders as Kevin Paskowicz still holding on to the lead despite being caught by Mike Whitaker, as Bob Lacavara is right there now. Throw a blanket over your top 10, actually.
And you only need one stop to make it the rest of the way, so probably see some people start saving their tires here to save the life of them, because if we get a caution, you're probably going to see more people stay out and pit at this point.
As the freshest guys out on the field right now are Cody Eldred and Joe Morganti. They're slowly making their way through the field. There is Cody Eldred just ducking in there in front of the 53 of Morganti. Morganti taking the high line as well now, going across the line, trying to stick with Cody Eldred as much as he can, because those two on the freshest tyres in the field right now, and they know it because they are absolutely blitzing past everybody right now.
Well, as fast as they're moving through the field, they're going to run into the wall proverbially coming up. Is, you know, you got Terry Adams and John Napier running side by side. You can go 2 wide here, but we have seen that when you go 3 wide, not only is it a pucker moment, it's you're basically suicidal at that point.
Yes, I know that more than anybody else. Because I remember when I led those few laps in this track in season 2. It went to a 3 wide moment, and I ended up on the receiving end of wall to the face. So,
didn't you start breakdancing?
No, yes, I did actually. Yeah,
I thought so. We had a techno moment.
Yeah, as we've not seen that for a while actually. The IR05s are very hard to breakdance, so I must have really hit that car hard that night.
No, they're not. They're the easiest car in the sim to do that with.
Oh, you've not raced an IR18 yet, then, have you?
Yeah, no. The last time my wheel was actually attached to my desk was the Rolex 24 at Daytona.
Yeah, the IR18 is now officially the easiest car to breakdance now.
Fair enough.
It only takes a slight tap and it's breakdancing across the track. Anyway, going back.
And you can see that tomorrow as we go to Auto Club.
Napier's around the back.
Caution somewhere, caution. Throughout the course of that last run, did you see any rubber laying down at all?
Oh, Greg.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there going, no, I'm watching John. What the hell just happened?
As I did say, he was flirting with that apron, and you could see him struggling to stay off. As we see them come
Stuart Lumpkin catches a race car to the face.
Yeah, he's caught that apron once too many times. As Bouchard, stay out of it for God's sake! Oof. But yeah, Greg Napier flirting with that apron once too many times, and it finally bit him, Tony.
Well, on the plus side, Chris Bouchard should get the lucky dog here.
Yeah, because he'll get one of his 2 laps back anyway. When they cross the line, which should be any time now. But yeah, Chris Bouchard had to literally put his foot through the floor to try and stop that car and hitting Lumpkin and Napier.
See, what Greg should have done there is when he was pinned to the bottom, he should have just locked it down and probably just slid. Because he probably wouldn't have hit anything, but it just snapped on him, it looked like, when he tried to catch it, which is kind of common in these cars, but kind of surprised at how quickly it snapped like that.
Well, like I said, he was flirting with that apron for the last, 4 or 5 laps, and coming onto the backstretch, if you touch that apron, it's going to spin you round, and yeah, it just bit him that time round, and I knew it was coming because the way he was getting those 2 tyres on below that white line.
Okay, so we're going to be going green with roughly 50 to go. Nate, you've been out on the track. Can they make it fuel-wise?
If I remember right, it's pretty close, if they can. I think we're in the ballpark of 50. I'm not even 100% sure, but the tires is what's going to do them in. So you can go flat out, but if you lift a little bit when you get about 30 laps into your run, be prepared to spin out because it'll snap on you because you're going to lose the downforce on the rear, and the rear tires get pretty worn, so it's just going to snap. So you're going to see people who have runs not want to get runs here. They stay out here. So
you're saying that if you have to be up on the wheel or have to try to correct, it's going to be a first you say it, then you do it kind of moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think they might be able to make it refuel, but they probably are going to want to fit their tires here. So that could be pretty interesting if we get another late caution.
As Chris Bouchard is now in pit road after taking his lucky dog, Greg Napier, after that wreck, is now behind the wall. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 retirements in this race. 11 cars still running. Johnny Antonucci, the last car running, he is 2 laps down after being... Looks like he had an EOL there, but anyway. Bouchard just coming out of pit road there. The last car on the lead lap is in 9th place. That is your 199 driver. That is Stuart Lumpkin. But at the front, Cody Eldred leads this piece after Kevin Paskowicz took it down pit road. Morganti second. Rick Odorfian is third. Amazing comeback from him. Paskowicz, as I just mentioned, is fourth. Whitaker fifth. Napier, John Napier, that is sixth. Seventh is Lacavara. Eighth is Mr. Hanover. Fifth, Terry Adams. And as I've already mentioned, ninth is Stuart Lumpkin, rounding out the top 10. And he might get a top 10 by default here, should it stay green, which is probably unlikely. There's Chris Bouchard as he's bringing it down pit road again.
Probably just going to top it off here, get more fuel than everybody else in case it does come to a fuel mileage race here.
You're not wrong. I'm thinking he's thinking the same thing. But Cody Eldred going to have control of the field from the high line. We saw him catch the entire field sleeping the last time he did this, as lights are out on the pace car. Eldred, Morganti, Paskowicz, Hummerfeld, and Whitaker, your top 5. Top 4 did not pit, or sorry, top 3 did not pit.
Yeah, they've got 16, 17 laps on their stint, so much older tyres than Kevin Paskowicz, who's there on that outside. So watch Kevin Paskowicz and John Napier as they are going to try and get to the front. Watch Mike Whitaker as well, because we are going to be almost within that 50 to go mark, and that's when Mike Whitaker decides to come alive.
Well, we're getting to the point where it's going to be go time for everybody. And if what we saw in the first 90 laps are any indication, it's about to get interesting. The pace car is off, and here we go again. Paskowicz pulls the trigger. Morganti with the preferred line on the inside. Paskowicz going to try to slipstream a little bit.
Yeah, it's Cody Eldred getting away decently off that restart, but as I keep mentioning, they are going to reel him back in very, very quickly. If not Joe Morganti, then definitely Kevin Paskowicz, who's definitely on the freshest tyres out there. Only 3 laps on the tyres compared to Morganti's 18, so definitely a tyre difference in tyre wear right there, and you can see it right now by the way Kevin Paskowicz is having to avoid Joe Morganti there to try and stop himself from running him over.
And that's the biggest difference, is Paskowicz can make it stick on the low side. Morganti's really having to pedal it. As he catches the apron there, that's going to let Paskowicz reel him right back in very quickly. As Morganti on a slide for life, here comes Paskowicz one more time with a hell of a run as they go through the tri-oval.
Yes, here comes Odorfian as well. He's going to try and get into the back of Paskowicz. Very close there between the 8 and the 7. Don't want to get too close at this point, Rick, as he's going to try the outside line on the 7. Not enough momentum on that high line as Paskowicz holds on to 3rd place.
Yeah, you got to have a lot of momentum to make that outside work. He just had one tonight, which isn't the most surprising thing, but you figure you could get a little bit of action up there, and it's not shaping up to have any out there tonight.
So Cody Eldred, your leader, Joe Morganti second, Kevin Paskowicz third, as Rick Odorfian tries to take another piece out of his gearbox in 4th. John Napier is there in 5th, just holding off Mike Whitaker, who seems to be racing pretty hard at this point. And I did say, once we get to 50 laps to go, that is when Mike Whitaker comes alive, and we're seeing that right now.
Well, Whitaker comes alive, and I'm kind of wondering what Odorfian is thinking right now in 4th. As for the last 4 laps, he's tried to kill Kevin Paskowicz.
And that's putting it mildly, as he's right on the gearbox of him as well. Gets a couple of wheels below the line, and that's going to invite John Napier in now. So make this a 5-car battle for the lead now. As Odorfian hits the apron. That's going to let John Napier in on the inside. Odorfian's going to give it up. And into the top 4 now is John Napier. And it looks like Mike Whitaker's got the inside line on Odorfian as well. He's going to take the top 5 away from him now.
And you guys wonder why my driving suit has brown pants.
He gets the idea. He won the
to get
Broncos.
another run on Morganti here. As unfortunately for Paskowitz, he's in a strange nut sandwich right now.
He's the meat. He's the phenomenal meat. There you go. Yes, Cody Eldred doing yeoman's work to hold off that angry pack of dogs right behind him, as Mike Whitaker trying to force an inside line there on John Napier to try and take away that 4th place. They are nose to tail as they go down the American Ethanol backstretch, as that is, I know they're all close together, but that is actually our closest battle right now between John Napier and Mike Whitaker.
Whitaker trying to figure out where he can make the move on Napier, and I'm thinking he's going to try it in a couple of laps.
Absolutely, as Paskowitz trying to take a breather there on the outside of Joe Morganti. Joe Morganti doing yeoman's work to hold on to 2nd place, as Paskowitz, hungry to shake off some bad form right now, really wants to get up into that top 2 and challenge Cody Eldred for the lead. But if you think about it, that whole top 5 there has not had much luck lately.
Not wrong. As Hummelford trying...
Oh!
There will be a caution.
What in the hell just happened?
I think he just caught the apron. I think it was just a little mistake there. If not, he got tagged from behind from Morganti.
Eldred getting turned there. We don't know, we can't see exactly what happened. It was a wrong camera angle, but as we see them coming through the try over there and into turn 1, we're going to see it right now as they come out of turn 2. Yeah, Eldred...
He just lost it.
Yeah, lost it on the apron and smacked it in the inside wall, but usually if it's an infield crash, it doesn't bring out the caution, so race control really taking no precautions here. Or taking many precautions, actually.
Yeah, Morganti about followed him too. He was thinking of just follow him behind, and he about split too, it looks like, if he kept going any lower. So Morganti got a lucky break there. He's going to be the leader.
He's going to be the leader, and at the point where if they pit now, they can definitely make it. But the question is anybody going to blink other than the pace car as it goes down the American Ethanol back straightaway?
Morganti's in the pits now, so.
Oh, there's your answer.
You were live. But yeah, Kevin Paskowitz takes over the lead now. John Napier up to a great 2nd place. Rick Dolphin on the oldest tyres in that top 5 now. He's on 28 lap old tyres. Mike Whitaker in 4th, Bob Lacafara 5th, Stuart Lumpkin 6th, 7th is Terry Adams, 8th is Joe Morganti, as you can see him coming out of pit road right there. 9th now is Cody Eldred, who's coming out of pit road as well.
And look who's back on the lead lap.
Yeah, this is going to make things a hell of a lot more interesting.
That's one way to put it.
So that's 10 cars back on the lead lap now.
Now you got all the math of trying to figure out who's on what strategy here. So it looks like Paskowitz, Whitaker, I'm trying to think of some others that are probably close. The 4 caution they're going to make it. Morganti can make it for sure now, along with Eldred. So it's gonna...
Paskowitz, Napier, Whitaker, Lacavara, Lumpkin, and Adams, and Bouchard are all on 14 laps.
Yeah, Rick Dolphin, the only one that's on the oldest tyres. Actually, Johnny Antonucci's on 29 lap tyres, so, but he's 2 laps down, so at the moment he's not really a factor. Sorry, Johnny. But Rick Dolphin is there in 3rd, and he's on 29 lap tyres as well, so yeah. It's going to be a tough call for Rick Dolphin to make it to make it for the next, what, 10, 20 laps now?
He's got to go 38.
Yeah.
And I don't see that happening when he's already 30 laps in.
I can't see it either.
That's a pretty super tall task to fill, but he'll be pitting here. He'll be at the end of the line, which is going to be 10th when he pits, so that's not the end of the world or so.
Yeah, Chris Bouchard, yeah, just coming out of pit road there after taking his lucky dog. Watch for him to come through the field as he's been so strong. He managed to get the pole here, so He definitely knows how to go quick around here, but the question is, can he make his way around 9 other cars in front of him?
That's going to be a big ask.
Especially everyone's racing the night on the bottom, not wanting to move up at all.
Well, you figure you've got Cody Eldred, who is a Season 1 IR05 champion. Joe Morganti, who has won here at Kansas before. You've got Bob Lacavara, who's always tough. Mike Whitaker, who is always tough. John Napier, who is hungry for a win. And Kevin Paskowicz, who has not had a win yet in the last 10 starts.
Yeah, and he's never actually won in the IR05. His only race win to date has actually come in the DW12. So to actually break his duck in the IR05 would be something special for Paskowicz as he picks the outside line.
And for those of you who don't speak British, that's the British equivalent of popping one's cherry.
Yep.
Ah, yes, the United States and the United Kingdom, two countries separated by a common language.
Yeah, Nate, I'm gonna ask you to get him going this time, dude.
Well, 10-4 of that. So we got Paskowicz starting on the top side with Eldred. We've seen that it is very effective, and we got Napier on the bottom. Whitaker's gonna be on top end with Paskowicz, so it's gonna be interesting to see if Whitaker can get in front of Napier here in the start. He's gonna have a better line to attack here. So as the pace car is lights off, it's going to go into the turn 4 area here, and we're going to just be waiting for the lights, well, not the lights, but the car to drive onto the pit lane. The car is on, and Paskowicz is holding him down, holding him down, holding him down. Now he decides to go. And a great start from him, as he's going to leave everybody in the dust, as Whitaker has got to jump on Napier.
Whitaker had a better view of Paskowicz as the green flag came out, was able to go just a fraction of a second, gag the throttle just before John Napier was able to, and got the run going through the 1-2 complex, has the position as they go down the back straightaway and into turn number 3.
Paskowicz takes a really high line there. That was kind of surprising how high he went in the exit of 4 there.
I think he was trying to break the draft off of Whitaker.
If
they get one more caution, they should be able to make it. And I can pretty much guarantee you right now, Whitaker is going to ride until about 2 to go and then make his move. Because right now, he's just conserving fuel to make sure he can make it from here.
The field is much more spread out than the last green flag we had. We were probably a blanket of 10 cars within 2 seconds. Right, well, I guess it is 2 seconds, but it was much closer last restart.
As Hummerford, right now,
he's making that top lane work, isn't he?
He's making it work, but he's pinching down hard on John Napier, apparently not learning from other people's mistakes. I'm thinking if something happens, it's going to be because of somebody pinching down, and we're going to have a bounding box issue.
Yeah, and that's not what you want to see at this point in the race, as Hunderfeen has actually made his way up into 3rd place, and he's going to try and take away 2nd place from Whitaker. Almost contact between Whitaker and Hunderfeen, as Hunderfeen is going to try and work that outside line on Paskowicz now, and I can only see this ending badly. I'm sorry.
Very impressive making it work so far. That's quite impressive. It's going to be interesting if he can actually clear him, though.
Well, especially when you figure that you're talking 14 lap difference in the tire strategies.
Paskowicz still making that bottom line work, but here comes John Napier. He did get a run at the back of Hunderfeen. Napier just slots in behind Whitaker, but here comes Hunderfeen as well. Really trying to pinch away at Paskowicz's gearbox, and he was doing this on the last green flag run. Really doesn't want to do that too much, otherwise it's going to end in disaster for both the 7 and the 8, as they're side by side again going down the American Ethanol backstretch into turn 3. Really want to try and keep that wound up on that outside if you want to have a decent run on the leader, but not going to get the momentum. Let's give that lap to Kevin Paskowicz.
Paskowicz protecting that white line as if it was his firstborn child. And Hunterfeen is going to have one of the most difficult times of his racing career to try to get by Paskowicz on the high side without any help.
And Kevin Paskowicz is probably one of the most difficult people to get around in any form of racing we've seen on this broadcasting channel. We've seen it in the trucks, we've seen it in the Cup cars, we've seen it in the Xfinity cars. As that is what the disaster I was talking about.
Stewart had a heck of a save to keep it from going around, and there's a caution.
And there it is. That's the caution they wanted, so that's going to work in their favour. Joe Morganti, Chris Bouchard, and Cody Eldred did not want to see that caution at this point.
That was a major check. It was called Lumpkin to come down right on Nakavara there. So.
And if anybody's playing the drinking game at home, that's 7 shots now.
All right. Well, I dare say that this caution has given everybody a chance. They should, air quotes, should, big air quotes, multiple air quotes, should be able to make it from here on fuel.
I think if Paskowicz dives, I think everyone's going to dive here.
You say die or dive?
Dive.
Oh. I was going to say, because after what we saw Sunday night, you know...
Yeah, that was pretty insane. I was right behind that, too. I was quite impressed.
Yeah.
Just want to point out I'm being roasted in the YouTube live chat by James McDavid. Or Pat McDavid.
This is new to you.
Actually, no.
How?
We're all being roasted because apparently we put the curse on him yesterday when we interviewed him.
I'd like to point out that was Sam's idea.
It was actually. So sorry, Mr. McDavid. Pat McDavid, James McDavid, whichever you like to be called. As I want to throw out a congratulations to our brother from another mother, Mr. Ronnie Osmer, graduating high school today. So he is moving up in the world of adulthood.
I kind of feel old now because I remember when Ronnie was just a punk kid joining the league, and we used to be able to pick on him for being a punk kid.
Yeah.
Now he's actually achieved, quote, adult status.
Yeah. And he is going to be going to college in September, so his racing might be on the back burner for a while.
No. He's going to Ryan Newman it. And for those of you who don't understand what I was talking about, Ryan Newman actually completed his first season in the Cup Series while attending engineering school.
Is that so he can fix his own car while he's wrecked out? Or no, wait, that's mechanics. Oh, never mind.
Well, now the one thing I would like to point out is, depending on what form of engineering you go into, it can aid you in understanding the dynamics of what's going on in the vehicle. And that's one of the things that, depending on where Ronnie's going to college, some colleges out there have what they call SAE student or Society of Automotive Engineers student competitions, where there's a formula student Baja, there's mileage races, there's different aspects, and there are colleges out there who their student Society of Automotive Engineers club builds race cars from scratch.
That's cool.
And there are quite a few colleges in the United States that participate in this. Cody Eldred and my alma mater, Alfred State College, actually participates in the SAE Student Baja competitions, mostly because to get to the Formula SAE. It's a little bit of a trek, whereas the Formula Baja, they have an East, a Midwest, and a West competition. And last I knew, the East competition was up in the Adirondacks, which is a day trip from the college campus.
Yeah, speaking of Ronnie Osmer and his affiliate, which is now going to be NASCAR after they bought out ARCA. France family, I've got 250 euros in my bank account. If you want to take that so I can buy NASCAR, then give me a call. Yeah.
And I'll even sweeten the pot. I'll even sweeten the pot. I've got 2 wooden nickels and some belly lint.
Tony, get us going.
And it's all yours. Lights are out on the pace car. The field working its way through the 3-4 complex. Paskowicz can control the field on the high side. Waiting for the pace car to make that hard left turn. Pace car is in. Paskowicz holds him down just a tick. And Stutter Steps finally pulls the trigger and gets well clear. Whitaker able to go with him. Napier trying to make a run on the high side. Gonna finally get clear into third. Hunterfiend slotting into fourth, and Joe Morganti back to fifth. So a hard-fought fifth place right now for Joe Morganti. I don't expect the driver of the Sodapix 53 is done yet.
No, as here we see Rick Hunterfiend looking on the outside of John Napier, getting ever closer to that 99's right rear wheel. Really racing hard at this point, and I suppose you got permission to do that with 23 laps to go, and it is officially go time here at Kansas, as we see Hunterfield still hanging on that outside of the 99, not going to get the momentum as John Napier defending for his life to keep hold of that third place as Hunterfield pushes him up the track, as still not got the momentum as Napier's got room to jump down, but is he going to take that room? No. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Okay, one of you bastards owes me a brand new desk chair. I think some poo just came out and I'm not even on the track driving.
So Napier managing to hold on there. He's got his teammate for support right behind him. That is Joe Morganti trying to make the outside line work on Hunterfield, is now taking that inside line on the 99. Meanwhile, Kevin Paskowicz still holding it on the inside, still in the lead there of this motor race. I think he's in pretty safe hands with Mike Whitaker right behind him right now.
Safest hands on the track. Because Whitaker's looking to finish the race and let the chips fall where they may. If he has a chance to win, yeah, he's going to take it, but he's not going to put you or himself at risk to do it.
Yes, look further back in the field. Here comes the 5 of Bob Lacavara trying to pinch that inside line from Hunterfield. Hunterfield was taking the high line to defend from the Strangenuts cars, but Lacavara managed to sneak in there, and here comes Chris Bichard. He's finally making his move for the pack as he's taking the bottom line, and the Strangenut boys are falling backwards, Tony.
And I'm thinking it's a little bit of a connection issue right now. As John Napier's blinked a couple of times for me. And I'm thinking that might be affecting their draft strategy right now, as Joe Morganti's fallen back off of him as he goes side by side with Terry Adams and he's going to slot in behind the number 69.
Yeah, in order to make this top line work, you got to do what Mr. Hunterfield's doing. He's just chopping them down really close, and that's how he runs.
Yeah, but the only problem is this car has such a bounding box issue that we've already seen it bite 3 drivers, and yeah, this is. I'm gonna put the over under in 4 laps, folks. So I'm about the over or the under.
I'm going to go under, because the way Rick Hunterfield's racing him right now, it could be happening very, very soon, as they were almost banging wheels going for the corner there. Coming out of turn 2, Mike Whitaker's not going to give it up easily either. He's sticking to that bottom line, but Hunterfield got a lot of momentum on that outside line, and I'm pretty sure that has something to do with the side drafters getting off the 707 and the 7.
I'm expecting the 8 to be out of fuel in about 3 or 4 laps. Because he's already got 50 on this tank.
Yeah, and at that point he's going to be in some serious trouble, because he has got not any room to get to that bottom line so he can make it to pit road. So we might be seeing him go like bingo on track, and that could cause some serious issues.
And I'm thinking with everybody in a single file line below him, he's screwed.
There's a lot of issues getting on the pit road too. This pit road, this entire apron is very slick. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he does actually get into pit road here.
You mean if he gets to pit road?
Yeah, that as well.
Oh!
Contact!
He's doing that one too many times, and if he keeps doing that, that's going to put himself and Paskowicz and possibly Whittaker in the wall. And he doesn't want to keep doing that. He's really playing with fire right now.
How to win friends and influence people in your first race in the ISL. Watch how quickly somebody gets removed from the lead should that happen.
Yeah. As he finally drops back and he's pinching down Bob Lacavara. Bob Lacavara's around!
Oh, what a save.
Oh, he saved it. What a save by Lacavara. No. He saved it again.
Attaboy, good job.
With 13 laps to go, Bob Lacavara had a good run going, but that aero draft from Hunderfiend really putting him in trouble, almost spinning that car around, but he lives to fight another day as he holds on to P10. Obviously, Lacavara being a lap down, he's not under any threat right now, as here comes Hunderfiend. Hunderfiend almost touching the outside wall, really alongside now Mike Whittaker as they make their way through turns 1 and 2 and onto the American Ethanol backstretch as Whittaker going below the white line.
And the over wins.
And Hunderfiend, it wasn't aero draft or anything like that. It was, he forced Bob Lacavara down onto the flat, and Bob did exactly what Nate warned us about, got off the trigger, and the back end of the car just walked right around on him.
Absolutely. He's still sticking to that outside line. I can only assume he's going to be out bingo on fuel very, very soon. And I'm thinking that's the only reason why he's up there right now is because he's extremely light on fuel.
Safe bet, because you're talking now 58 laps on this tank.
Now he's got no choice but to back out of it, as there is Chris Bouchard trying the outside line as well on Mike Whittaker with 10 laps to go. Now it's really go time as here comes Morganti as well. Come out of nowhere into the top 4, but Bouchard stuck on the outside. But if anybody knows how to make that outside line work and keep it safe is the number 28, as he's up to second now. He was given that on that last lap as they make their way out of turn 2, Tony.
And Bouchard has the freshest tires in the top 5.
Yeah, by 16 laps.
Yeah, so if anybody could make that high line work right now, it's Bouchard. As Paskowicz has got to be struggling a little bit to protect that inside line. He's killing a lot of momentum, and the line is not the easiest to hold on to, being on that low side to begin with.
Now we are 8 laps to go, so it's coming down to the final chapter of this motor race. Had a lot of cautions here tonight, 7 in total, but we've seen some exciting racing here, guys, as they're going to be coming to 7 laps to go now.
Gosh, it looks like he just got a little bit of the apron. He about went up the hill there, but he kept it off of Bouchard there, and we live to see another day as we got 6 to go, it seems like.
7 to go.
7 to go. Can't do math today, apparently.
Paskowicz flirting with disaster. Still has Whittaker right on his transmission tunnel. Bouchard on his left rear tire. So anybody sneezes and everybody dies.
Yeah, and Kevin Paskowicz definitely doing everything he can to hold on to that bottom line. Got a piece of the apron just there. As there goes Hunderfiend into the wall.
That's going to cause a caution. Maybe if there's no one behind.
Oh, Morganti's around! Oh no! What happened to Morganti as the caution comes out? I'm not sure if we're going to go green again, guys.
Morganti did the same thing Cody Eldred did. Caught the apron on corner exit and snapped CMI.
So Morganti really having issues there.
And we're not going back green.
No. It doesn't look like that. It doesn't look that way, as those are the 2 cars that brought out the caution, Morganti and Hunderfiend. Hunderfiend, it was coming, wasn't it? It was going to hit that outside wall, and it finally got him.
It did. And for those of you who bet the over,
You win a kick in the nuts.
You know, so as pace cars outfields caught the pace car, and
Bouchard fake pitting. Oh, you can't do that. That's against the rules. I might need to have a word with Bouchard after that.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably almost Mark Martin did.
Yeah. So here comes Antonucci getting his lucky dog to get back on the lead lap. Too little too late, Johnny, but good on you to get back up into the top 10. Kept in it.
So I would like to point out that all cars from Pinnacle Motorsports in the top 10.
That is impressive. I think more impressive than old Phenomenal Cars finishing in the top 5 last night.
Because it didn't happen last night. They almost did.
Well, they had Pasquich, Young, and who's the third one I'm thinking of? Oh, Ozma finishing in the top 5. So it was 3 Phenomenal Cars last night.
3 of 5, whereas this time it's 4 of 4.
Yeah.
You know, four cars. All 4 Pinnacle Motorsports cars, top 10 finishes, and on the lead lap. That is impressive, especially when you take a look at the average age of that team being north of retirement age.
Yeah.
When I say that they're the old guard of the league, I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean that combined between the 4 of them, they probably have more experience behind the wheel of a motorized vehicle than the rest of the field combined.
Absolutely. I'm keeping an eye on the pace car, but there's a small voice in my head telling me that we're going to be having a one lap shootout, but I'm not really sure.
Well,
I think we are going to have a one lap shootout. I was trying to do the math, and I think we're going to go to green on lap 140. So I'll give them a one lap shootout.
Well, let's find out.
Yeah, but you said you couldn't do math.
Good point.
So one more lap. If the lights go out on the pace car, that means it's one more lap for these guys to go at it one more time. And
if you're Kevin Pasquich, you've got a Texas to start. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, it's kind of a joke in Arizona racing where they've had drivers from Texas come in and they kind of stutter step to start and just jack everybody behind them up and then gag the throttle, take off, and
we're going green again.
We are, because Pasquich is test firing his starts right now to make sure that he's not going to have a replay of what Bob Lacavara did on Sunday.
Speaking of Bob Lacavara, he is there in 8th place, still managed to keep it on the lead lap after saving it. Joe Morganti managing to keep it on the lead lap too, so he is there in 9th place. Johnny Antonucci, how many positions can he make up as they go back to green again for one more lap? This is the last stand here at Kansas.
Place your bets.
Yeah. Can Pasquich get that monkey off his back and get that win he is so deserved? Since that win at Pocono he got, what, almost a year ago?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
It's
think
going to be interesting to see how the rest of that bottom lane does with Whitaker and Napier there. It's going to be interesting to see how good of a jump they can get.
yeah, as they make it.
Everybody doing test fires right now to make sure that when they pull the trigger, the tires are going to be there.
Yeah, as they're making their way out of turn 4. This is what it all comes down to now. One more lap to make it happen. One more lap to make history. And we're under a green already. Kevin Pasquich getting them going early. And this is one more lap to make history for any of these drivers to get it going and get that win. And Kevin Pasquich is in that catbird seat right now as they come out of turn 2, Tony.
Bouchard's got to hope Pasquich steps on his own junk coming through the 3-4 complex. As he goes to the high side, Pasquich is going to defend low, and Bouchard's not going to turn him. So Paskowicz
wins! Paskowicz wins! Bouchard turns it at the line, but he still keeps second place. Mike Whitaker's going to come home for third. Stuart Lunkin fourth. John Napier, he's going to be happy. He came in with the top 5, so great result there for the 99. But biggest news of the night, Kevin Paskowicz. I have a huge smile on my face right now. I've got to be impartial, but I've got a big smile on my face right now, Tony.
We've all got to be impartial, but you've got to, be happy for Paskowicz to finally get the IR05 monkey off his back as he gets a love tap in the trans tunnel from Mike Whitaker telling him congratulations. Oh. Speaking of Mike Whitaker, joining us now, the third place finisher, getting the podium finish, hard-fought battle, I might add, the driver of the Pinnacle Motorsports number 707, the world's fastest hippie for a reason, Mr. Mike Whitaker. Congratulations on your podium, sir.
Thank you. That was a fun race.
Once you guys were able to actually start running, talk us through, kind of what you were seeing with the 8 pinching down hard there during that last green flag run.
Yeah, he was, but I ran a lot of ran a lot of laps with Rick during the practice session. I know he can hold that line. He was running tight, but I felt comfortable around him. I wasn't really worried about it.
Well, Mike, your pit strategy paid off. You led a few laps there after the first caution. Talk us through, did you have your pit stops planned out by lap, or was it just let them fall where they may?
Not really, but when I pitted the first time, I pitted early with the idea of possibly staying out and leading laps when everybody else pitted, and that's exactly what happened. And it was too early to pit a second time, so I just stayed out and ran those laps until we got the next caution. It's just the way the cautions fell.
Fair enough. And I would like to congratulate you and the entire team of Pinnacle Motorsports for putting all 4 cars on the lead lap and in the top 10 tonight. Congratulations on that, Mike. That was a great team victory for you guys.
I'm glad everybody had a good night. I don't know how Chris came from the back of the pack. I'm going to have to watch the replay on that, but he ran a good race. I kind of felt bad about screwing him early in the race when I stayed out, but I wasn't about to change my strategy just to give him a freebie.
Hey, it worked out for the best for both of you. So, congratulations, Mike. Looking forward to seeing you next week. Where are we next week, by the way?
We are at Talladega next week.
Oh boy, Speed Weeks are back, baby.
Day race, too.
Even better. Congratulations, Mike.
Okay, thank you.
And Mr. Sampu has come out himself. Chris Bouchard breaking the announcer's curse, putting it on the podium tonight. Chris, congratulations on the podium, sir.
Oh, thank you.
That was probably one of the most hard-fought podiums of anybody in both of broadcasting history. Talk us through how you were able to get back up there like you were.
Thankfully, the cautions flew the way that they did and got me the laps back. I was 2 laps down for probably 80-90% of this race. So to get the laps back, then I knew I could race my way up. Just passing was so hard here, and racing with KP and Mike at the end, it was pretty tight. I wanted to keep it clean and everything. I felt like I hit everything else on the track. I didn't want to take them out. So I'm really happy KP got the win. Really good to see him finally break through in this car.
So Sunday night we go to Talladega. Are you going to be joining us for ISL Speed Week?
Maybe. It all depends on scheduling. Sunday night I might have something planned. Talladega is one of my more favorite tracks because I did my first DW12 official race I ran was Talladega and I won it, so I feel like I'm pretty good there.
Well, Chris, anybody else you'd like to thank before we let you go?
I gotta thank Mike, Alex, Kevin, everyone who puts their heart and soul into this league, and also Paskey's the stock car series. These series are some of the funnest on the service and everything. So if we're always open to new people coming out and racing with us, just give one of us a message and we'll get you in here.
Well, again, Chris, congratulations on the hard-fought podium. Fought your way back from 2 laps down at one point, and you gave us quite a scare there coming to the line, but able to hang on for a second.
Yeah, I got low on apron like the 3rd time this race. I'm glad I just did it.
Absolutely.
All right, Chris, we'll catch you later.
And joining us in the booth now is probably the happiest man on the planet right now, Kevin Paskowicz, coming home with a win, finally getting the monkey off his back. Kevin, any words?
I wish I had some words. You know, just we've been fighting for this for a long time. You know, we've been. I think I've started every single race in this series' history, and
No, I'm gonna applaud you there. Because you missed the one I won.
The very first race.
The very first race of the league.
At Daytona, I finished fifth.
No, you didn't. You missed that one.
Yes, I did.
Oh, that was. No, that's right. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
But no, you know, I just, you know, I think none of my teammates finished. Nate and Quentin and
Tyler.
You know, Tyler and, you know, of course, you know, friendly with John Napier and those guys, Joe Morganti, and knew they were going to race us clean, and you know, had strategy. That one caution came out there with about 50, I think it was 55, 56 laps to go, and said, all right, this is where we're pitting, and I'm not coming in again unless it's on a wrecker. And that's what we did. The guys who stayed out had to pit. We got the lead, and then we just held on to it through hell and high water. So, you know, I just need to thank, you know, Paskey Sports, obviously, my lovely wife Karen, for, you know,
putting up with your crap.
This. Yes, putting up with the crap. PH, Ware, the Mighty, both for broadcasting. You guys are awesome. I love working with you and love being interviewed by you and love watching your stuff. And, you know, Ride to Give, which is an amazing charity. I recommend people check them out. I just, finally.
Okay, KP, I gotta ask the big question here. Can I put the cherry on the frosting on your cake right now?
Oh, what's that, man?
Hard Charger Award, my friend. 10th to 1st.
Oh, man. I can't believe it. I mean, that's awesome. When we started today, I was hoping for a top 5.
I know that us at both, we've got to be impartial while we're up in the booth, but speaking as a person, not from both, but as a teammate, KP, I could not be happier for you, you know, dude. It's me and Tony, like, we're probably cheering you on silently while we were up here. No disrespect to the other finishers, but we would definitely cheering you on. Not as broadcasters, but as teammates, you know?
Yeah, I mean, thank you guys. I figured you guys were calling it like you saw it, and I figured, I don't know, did your heart sink just as much as I did when you realized we were going to go back to green? Because I was just like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
You know, I've lost... I have lost so many of these races in the last lap or two in so many different ways. I've run out of gas, I've hit the apron, I've just straight up gotten passed, I've gotten turned. You know,
well, the good news is the 2 cars that were starting around you, we were 99.9999999% sure were not going to turn you to try to get the win.
Yeah, I can't thank Chris Bouchard enough. He's another guy that, you know, I love racing with him. He's an awesome kid. I just, you know, I knew he wasn't going to turn me. I knew he was going to race me right. So, to me, then I needed to get that jump, and I needed to, you know, do it right. And I think that's one thing where we excel beyond most of the other guys in the league is our restarts. And just got a good one, got out in front of him, and was able to hold it.
KP, again, congratulations for finally getting the IR05 monkey off your back.
Oh, thank you guys. I can't believe it.
It took you 4 seasons to do it, but you finally got it off your back.
I'm on cloud 18 right now, man. Thank you guys so much.
One more question.
I'd like to apologize to KP's wife, Karen. Sorry, you're going to have to deal with him for the rest of the night, Karen. You're on your own.
But yeah, I'm going to ask the obligatory question here, KP. Looking ahead to Talladega, you always seem to be strong there as well. What are your thoughts going into that one next week?
Talladega I'm always strong at because I get really lucky and survive. So, I don't know, I don't want to say anything to destroy my luck, but the majority of my career top fives there have been very blind, and I must have leprechauns and angels and shamrocks and rabbit's feet stuffed away in my car because
I'm thinking they're in another orifice.
That too. That is quite possible. But
Karen, check KP out later, will you?
I mean, it should be a good race. I think the last two races there, I think we almost went caution-free. So I think it'll be a good, clean race. These guys in the league now that we have are, pretty much top-notch to race around and race with. They're amazing guys. So I think there's going to be respect. I think there's going to be a lot of drafting. I think there's going to be some cool slingshots. And I think it's going to be a clean race.
All right, KP, again, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on the Hard Charger Award. And congratulations for getting that monkey off your back finally.
Thank you, guys. And I have to thank, real quick, I have to thank, of course, you, Tony, but Ronnie, Cody, Mike, and Alex for everything they do for the league. And, of course, Terry Adams, I think he's been that one voice in my head where every time I get down and I'm just like, this is stupid, Terry, not trying, will say something, and it's like, oh yeah, and he's like, yeah, you'll get it eventually, I'll get it eventually, and we laugh about it. And he's, kept me from quitting, whether he knew it or not, once or twice. So I really have to thank all of those guys, all of you guys, for everything you do to put this on. I know firsthand what kind of crap it is at times, and just thank you guys so much.
Well, we got to thank you for putting on such a good show tonight. Well, that is
real quick,
yeah,
Sam.
Yeah.
The one thing I would like to point out is I'm looking through the finishing order.
Yeah.
Chris Bouchard started second,
finished
second. Mike Whitaker started third, finished third.
Kevin Paskowicz started 10th, finished first.
True story. But that's just it shows you what type of competitors Bouchard and Whitaker are. Is that even after dumpster fire after dumpster fire that took place tonight, they were able to be in a position to put their cars that started on the podium, finished on the podium.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, Ray Zirkett had a disconnection early, so tough break for the driver of the 17. But congratulations to everybody else for surviving the melee tonight.
Absolutely. And KP, I hope you're going to stay with us to the end of the broadcast. So I'm going to go and bring up the results now for tonight's race, and a very popular winner, Mr. Kevin Paskowicz, finally getting the monkey off his back, coming home in first place. Second, unlucky, but I'm pretty sure he's happy with second place, is Christopher Bouchard. Third, Michael Whitaker. Fourth, a great finish for him actually, Stuart Lumpkin. Another happy man in the top five, that is Mr. John Napier. No practice before tonight, but still bringing home that top five. Bob Lacavara. Sixth. Seventh is Cody Eldred. Eighth, Hanover Fist, Terry Adams. Ninth, Joe Morganti. 10th is Johnny Antonucci. Tony, do you want to call out the rest?
Rick Hunderfeen, first car a lap down, finishing in 11th. Greg Napier, early problems, going to finish in 12th. Quentin Young, we saw what happened with him. It was dumpster fire after train wreck, and he finished in 13th. Nate Siefker, connection issues, biting Nate again, unfortunately finishing 14th. Tyler Vickery, train wreck after dumpster fire after train wreck, finishing 15th. Ray Zirkett having connection issues, finishing 16th. Ron McManus not starting.
Yeah, so Ronald McManus getting the provisional 4, finishing 17th in not taking the start. But what a race tonight, Tony. A lot of wrecks, but I'm thinking the perfect outcome tonight.
From from a broadcaster's standpoint, I know we're supposed to stay impartial, but when you've seen somebody be the bridesmaid as many times as Kevin Paskowitz has been in the IR05 and have races just, you know, snatched from him out of no fault of his own, and have him able to hang on tonight, not only get the hard charger award, but finally get an IR05 victory in a league that he has supported since day one. You know, I can't be happier as a human being. I can't be any happier than I am right now for Kevin Paskowitz winning tonight.
Absolutely. Nate, I know you had a tough night tonight, but what are your thoughts after tonight's race?
Oh, it was very good racing. I'm kind of excited to go to Talladega if I'm not working. That should be interesting. I never actually ran an Indycar at Talladega or Daytona. That's the only.
Oh, you're in for a treat when you witness your first bump draft in an Indycar, my friend.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm supposed to be excited or feared for my life. So.
If I can offer a suggestion, Nate, get a garbage bag. Put it down on your desk chair before the race.
Oh yeah, one right next to me now, so I'll be all set for next.
And wear brown pants.
Wearing brown pants now, actually, so that works out.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, that is going to do it for us tonight, as we are going to bring an end to tonight's broadcast. But what a race it's been! Lots of drama. Lots of caution tonight, but the best result ever for one man, that would be Kevin Paskowitz. Tonight is going to be in the record books, and it's going to be long in the memory of all of us here tonight. Tomorrow night we will be back here again in a different kind of IndyCar. We will be at Auto Club in Top Fuel Racing. Thursday we are at Kansas again in the Cup Cars with the Somo Racing Link. Friday, we're actually taking a night. No, we're not taking a night off, because we'll be bringing the Paskey's Cup, Paskey's Cardiac Xfinity Series live from Pocono. Saturday, we've got fan choice, both the fan choice, as we've got Major League Esports going off at Kansas, and the Paskey's Cardiac Cup Series also going from Pocono. Anyway. And Sunday we're back again at Talladega in the IR18s for the IndyCar Speedway League. But as for now, we're going to say goodnight. What a race, and we're looking forward to the next one. All that's left for me to say is keep it green, keep it clean, and we will see you tomorrow night.